They don't have much of a shot. I think that they could possibly win a game, and I think that it possibly works to the Cavs' advantage that the Celtics have home field advantage, because that first game is the game where you want to catch a team that's rusty, that's had a long break. And if the Cavs give up an away game, that's different than giving up a home game. So I think I'm not going to go out on a limb, but the Celtics are the weakest, like statistically proven. They're the weakest #1 seed, and LeBron may be the greatest player of all time. I don't think the evaluation analysis has to go much further than that.
You said all time?
Did he just say the GOAT?
I said maybe.
You got a guy named Michael Jordan.
I know who he is. I remember him. I saw him come fly with me.
He's great, but we'll get back to that. That's another subject. But I like Boston to win more than one game. They play well at home. And I think if they come out with the right mindset of having that confidence, that faith, knowing we can go out here and get these games, I think they put themselves in a position to win.
I look at it. I mean, I'm going to have to. I don't know why, but I'm agreeing with Domonique on this one. But I
want to win.
I look at a situation for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah, they may start out a little rusty, but that's something after a quarter and a half, you begin to get back into form. What we've seen over the last couple weeks of the season for the Cleveland Cavaliers is a little bit more communication on defense. Offensively, it's out of Kyrie's hands at times, where Kyrie becomes the 2, LeBron becomes the 1. You can bring now Kevin Love not only on the blocks, but he can step outside because of the penetration from the 2 guys. And then also, J.R. Smith being back healthy has helped them out in so many ways. Now, I know LeBron talked about it during the middle of the season, getting all his guys back, but to bring J.R. Smith and what he brings from the outside. Now, J.R. Smith does not get into the paint, just like Tristan Thompson doesn't need to step outside the paint. But what you're seeing from this offense is I'm seeing a lot of flow. I'm seeing a lot of communication on the offensive end. Rebounding is something that I think they pay much attention to when it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And when you look at the Boston Celtics, that's something that's really hurt them throughout this playoffs is rebounding on the glass.
Yeah,
and if Tristan Thompson
I just don't know where the Celtics have an advantage. Like maybe they're better defensively, but they aren't better rebounding. They aren't better.
I like their bench. I like Boston bench.
I will agree.
You like Boston's bench better than the shooters that come off of the Cavs bench?
Yes,
Exactly.
Boston bench can do a little bit more.
Yeah.
They're more athletic, I believe.
Yeah. Brown.
You got a guy like Olenek, who just came out and exploded last night.
So we can
you got
expect
Marcus
that.
Smart, who makes he makes every great play. He's
okay.
Before you start digging into that,
I'm fine with that.
I'm gonna agree with Dion. And this is the thing: off the bench is much more than scoring.
Exactly.
It's about defense. It's about rebounding. It's about
the
hustling.
players that don't show up on the stat sheet.
So he just bring up Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart was the X factor in this series because Marcus Smart not only can guard Bradley Beal, but he also can guard John Wall. So in this situation, he can not only guard Kyrie Irving, but he also can jump out on J.R. Smith as well. He's a physical guy. He gets down low. He's a hustler. He's a guy that kind of keeps everything going. And not only that, he can hit the outside jump shot. So let's just pay a little attention to that.
He make all the right plays.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Defensively, he made all the right charges, rebounding.
Yes.
And Dion, how valuable is that on the basketball court? When you play with a guy who you just know is going to be in the right place, going to make the play, you don't have to worry about it.
It makes it easier for you. It makes it easier for you knowing that you got a guy behind there who's behind you, you can trust. Even if the defense do break down, you got a guy out there who can make plays. And that's game changing, especially for Boston, especially in that arena with their fans. I think a guy like Marcus Smart, man, sometimes his play go unnoticed.
Yeah.
Like the little things he does that don't show up on the stat sheet. And like Terry Rozier, another guard who rebounded. He came in the game, and one of these playoffs, he had 8 rebounds. He hit big-time shots, too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean,
I like the bench.
Smart.
I like Cleveland bench also, though. Don't get me wrong. I like, Chandler, Kyle Korver, Shumpert, like Darren Williams. Like, it's about who won it more, man. I just like Boston. I like Boston to win more than one game.
You retracting?
No. I'm just trying to
He never said Boston was going to win the series. He just said they're going to win 2.
I said
said more
than one game.
Okay.
But I'm just throwing out, the key points.
Isaiah Thomas reminding everybody that nobody has given him a chance throughout this entire playoff run, saying we were down 2-0 to Chicago. They didn't give us a chance then. We get the #1 seed. They didn't give us a chance then. Obviously, they now are in a position to advance their season. Anything to the underdog? When you've been an underdog, how has it motivated you?
I mean, it helps to give you something to talk about. You might work out a little bit better, a little harder during the week. But when you get out there and you look across the court, and there's LeBron James and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, all that underdog BS don't really get you very far. The NBA is notorious.
That's a lie. I mean, even if you match up with them type guys, that gets your juices going. No matter
what. I agree.
The competition, you want to beat the best.
Does that make your shots go in more? Because you're an underdog?
It might be because
Yeah,
you're
Kelly Olynyk elevated his game.
You're more focused. You're locked in, and you like, man, we got a chance to knock these guys off. So.
And there's that whole blood in the
It's a
water
diff- yeah,
concept
it's a
as
different
well.
mindset.
If you
Yeah,
start to
mindset,
feel
man.
like you can
Momentum.
hang,
I feel like
Momentum is key.
No question. No question.
I don't believe in momentum, but I feel like Dion is kind of talking about Dion right now.
No.
He's talking from
In a
personal
sense,
experience.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing. But momentum take you a long way. If you make a shot and the crowd's involved, then you go back on the defensive end, you get a big time stop, and then the place is rocking.
That don't change
They don't
who
get no
across
better
the
than that.
court from you.